Alright guys, this is probably my last video for today, but I'm gonna make videos like a series of videos like this for certain players that I think have really, you know, turned the corner and I'm very proud of over the years they've been with the Heat or the little time that they developed a lot with the Heat. And my first video like that will be for none other than Hassan Whiteside. This guy has come a long way, guys. Hassan Whiteside has come a long way. I'm talking about, I mean, if you look at his story was sad. I mean, I'm talking about when I think his father, I think his father was killed and then grew up with his mother or something like that. In he didn't really grow up with his father. He was only with his mother. He was very poor. He came up pretty hard, man. And I don't even think I think he started basketball actually late in his life because they wanted him to be a football player, I think, but he got too tall or whatever. But Hassan Whiteside, like I said, has come a long way. He was drafted by the Sacramento Kings with DeMarcus Cousins, and I don't think the Kings don't develop anyone, so obviously that's why you don't. I think even DeMarcus Cousins is not even at his best peak, and that's pretty sad. Considering he's very talented. But when he was with the Kings, it didn't work out, and then he went to the D League, and then he went to overseas. A few times. I think he was in overseas like 3 times or so. Went to a bunch of overseas teams. I don't remember the certain teams, but I think it was 3 different overseas teams. He won a championship, mind you, out there in overseas, so he knows what winning is like. You can't. I think once he won that championship overseas, it really turned his perspective on life and taking the NBA seriously in basketball. I think that championship really did turn his perspective on life and how basketball is. And when you've struggled all your life, and then you do get drafted, you go to the NBA, it doesn't work out with a few teams, you go overseas, and then eventually you just turn around because I think when he went overseas, he started to realize that my life is going downhill again where it fucking started. So I think when that happened to him, I think he just woke up the next day and was like, man, it's time to really start grinding. And boy, did he grind. Hassan Whiteside, most people remember him or know him for the famous quote that he made when he said, I'm trying to get my 2K rating up, which I do play 2K, by the way. And Hassan Whiteside's a fucking beast on that video game. But other than that even when he had his when he had his little haircut or whatever, that was funny when I first saw the interview, and I was like, man, I think Hassan Whiteside, he may be actually trying to be funny here, but he may be onto something. And then that Christmas game when the Heat I think the Heat that's the first time they really played him in that Christmas game. They played him before. What I mean was that's the first time they played him like in a stretch of minutes in that Christmas game when LeBron James first left, and I think that was LeBron James' first time coming back to Miami since he left us in 2014. And Hassan Whiteside, Chris Anderson, Hassan Whiteside, they brought in Hassan Whiteside, and then I was looking at Hassan Whiteside, I'm like, this guy is fucking big. He's pretty big and he's pretty fast. And then I was looking at like, he got a few rebounds, a few putbacks, and then they set him on the bench. I'm like, this dude actually has a lot of potential, and he can protect the paint real good. And then when they had, they started giving him more minutes after that game. As you noticed, after the Christmas game, they started giving him way more minutes, and he started getting more rebounds, and he started getting more blocks, just playing defense. He wasn't really scoring, but he was just getting rebounds and blocks and protecting that 2015 Heat team, and down in the paint, along with Chris Bosh now. And I was like, man, we found our he might not be a great center in the league, but we found a good center. That was my mindset when he was, getting rebounds and blocking shots and putting shots back. I was like, I was thinking to myself, we found a solid center. We might be able to go far in the playoffs with this Heat team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Luol Deng and Josh McRoberts. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. And Danny Granger and what's the other guy? I forgot the other guy name. He was a spot up for. But Mario Chalmers, you had him still. Norris Cole, I think he was still on the roster. Shabazz Napier, he didn't work out. I wonder why he didn't work out. I wish that he can actually get him back. But yeah, and then, games kept going on and on. He started getting better. He started progressing. He started working on this game. And then I think his confidence went up once that Chicago game hit and he had that triple-double with blocks. And I was like, this dude is a fucking monster. Where has he been? And then everyone started, the hype started building up, which he deserved. And, there was, calling him the Wall of Whiteside and the Great Wall of Whiteside or something like that. That's what they call him. And then he started getting blocks with triple doubles, 10 blocks a game, 11 rebounds and like 20 points. He decimated Chicago Bulls and Joakim Noah. And I was like, this dude really has a chance to be very good. And, from there on, he just started getting double-doubles and, started doing this damn thing on a very cheap contract. So that year was over with, and people were still trying to see, did this guy just have a flash in the pan? He basically, that second half of the year, after that Christmas game, was basically like Deion Waiter's second half of the year last year with us. So that was like they wasn't sure if he could do it again or pull it off again. But he proved everyone wrong, did it for a whole full season. And honestly, I thought we were going to go meet LeBron James and the Cavs that season. We had Joe Johnson on the roster. We had Luol Deng, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Tyler Johnson, Justice Winslow was a rookie of the year. He had Josh Richardson, he was a rookie of the year. We had a pretty good team. But, we didn't make it. We got beat by Toronto. And, if I still had those videos, I was ranting like hell, man, when we lost to Toronto and shit. And the referees was fucking us over. But, after that year, I was like, this guy, he has to get a max contract because he played a whole full year of consistency and a half from his first year with us. And I was like, this guy had to get a contract. He got his contract. We all know the history about Dwayne Wade after that, and how the team kind of fell apart. But then we started, getting younger, more younger guys with him, like Tyler Johnson and Josh Richardson and Justice Winslow. Those three, those four along with those three along with Hassan Whiteside was going to be the next, the young prophecy of this team. And then, he got his max contract. Life started becoming well for him again. Yeah, I mean, how can you not in Miami? And I think he recently found him a girlfriend or whatever. I really don't like getting into people's personal life, but I saw on Bleacher Report one time, and she was singing for him on his birthday or whatever. So I was like, oh, he has a girlfriend now. So, life just started getting better with him, and, he started enjoying life. He got his big money, his big payday, and it's just a good story, man. It's really a good story. Hassan Whiteside, I'm going to make a bold prediction. We will win a championship with Hassan Whiteside one day. I don't know if it's going to be next season or the season after that, but we will win with him one day. Hassan Whiteside, he may not be the main piece that bring us to championship per se scoring wise, but we will win a championship with him. I mean, Hassan Whiteside is that type of guy that he can change a whole game and, protect the paint, change the whole game, and he's a game changer. He influences the game very good. And once he's on his game, it's really hard to beat the Miami Heat. It really is. Now, Hassan Whiteside is consistent. He can be inconsistent sometimes to get lazy and let guys score him in the paint. But when he's on, and he's unstoppable. Which it pisses me off that he didn't get an All-Star. He didn't get an All-Star entry in the All-Star game last year. And they gave guys like Kevin fucking Love an All-Star entry. And even though Kevin Love was so, don't even get me started with that shit. Just know Hassan Whiteside deserved to be an All-Star last year, but they didn't let him in the All-Star game. I do think he will be an All-Star game this year, along with Dion Waiters. But Dion Waiters is a whole separate video. But I'm very proud of Hassan Whiteside, guys. I really am. That's a good story for Hassan Whiteside. You know, coming up from nothing, father died at a young age. You know, got kicked out the NBA, sent to the D League for a long time, and then he went to overseas. You know, went to an all-time low. He did win a championship overseas. And that's when he won a championship overseas. I think that's when everything changed for him. That's when he came to the Heat. He started taking everything seriously. He got his big payday, and he is Hassan Whiteside, the Great Wall of Whiteside, what we know him for now. So kudos to Hassan Whiteside. Hope he keeps it up, man. He's had a few injuries, during the playoffs or kind of at the end of the season. But other than that, he's been pretty relatively healthy. He's never had a huge injury, and we hope it stays like that. I hope he stays very healthy, and keep getting them rebounds and blocks, Whiteside. Those spectacular blocks you be grabbing in the air and snatch it down to make it a rebound. Keep doing that. I'm so surprised that they didn't give him the block of the year. They gave it to Kawhi Leonard, even though Hassan Whiteside's known for having one of the best blocks in the NBA. But whatever. But yeah, guys, you tell me what you think of Hassan Whiteside, how he's progressing, how he's kind of helped change our team and help start this culture movement for the Miami Heat. Hassan Whiteside is really the guy that's him and Tyler Johnson, the guys that started that. So just give me your comments and like the video. He like for 305 out.